Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke. Welcome back to Let's Read Minis. In the last episode, we read through Bard Quest, and it was hilariously short due to not being finished, and it will probably never be finished. In this episode, I was debating back and forth between doing fan-requested game commands set in the Problem Sleuth universe, or a Ryan Quest, which is a typical day in the life of Ryan North. So, I don't know anything about Ryan North, I don't really know the background for why Ryan Quest is a thing, and I also don't know how long Ryan Quest is. So, that being said, I'm going to go for the fan-requested game commands. And if anybody wants to tell me how long Ryan Quest is, or if it's even done, I'll cover that next Wednesday. Because I believe next Wednesday happens before 4/13. Yeah, okay, so. You have unlocked some fan-requested game commands. These are drawn and posted here if you make a donation, but I'm no longer doing them. Sorry. So this one, Fad, Zad, and Ad, throw your hats down in disgust. Okay, I can just keep doing it through one page. Fall in shockingly inappropriate manner. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, that certainly is shockingly inappropriate for Douglas. Fall in a badass noir anti-hero manner. Okay. I was under the impression that these are where the Midnight Crew came from, and if I'm wrong about that, then I don't know where the Midnight Crew came from. Problem Sleuth Gambit Schema Candy Corn Tiger with the meh face. That is adorable. That is completely adorable. For Clockwork, there's a jungle and everything. MK Strike Villain is posed with surly thugs. I think those are supposed to be teeth, but they look like lips, and that's hilarious. I kind of want to just take that and, like, paint lips on it. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do that. I'm just copy that. And for now, we're going to keep going. This was for Brandon. Invite your unexpected guests, guests. It looks like it says quests. Aim for a rousing game of Dungeons and Dragons. Starting from this point in Problem Sleuth. Which point was that? Oh, alright. Backwards. Oh, it's a whole thing. You are absolutely delighted to have company. You insist on marking the occasion with a spirited session of tabletop role-playing. You will obviously be the Dungeon Master because you have the best imagination. You set up the game with a variety of character sheets and lookup tables, as well as an array of dice, including several caramels, a couple of pieces of rock candy, and an everlasting gobstopper. Problem Sleuth makes a few rolls to establish his ability scores, but can't make heads or tails of these stupid pieces of candy. A-Stick eats several caramels. So, let's see. Snoot Rough Nibble Scab, player Problem Sleuth. He's a weasel, a rogue barbarian, level 1, alignment good, Paragon Path, patron deity, Godhead Pickle Inspector. Your strength, they should make his strength 90? Sepulchritude! Oh, he scratched out Charisma and wrote Pulchritude. Diplomacy, 1,000,000. Everything else is crossed out. Problem Sleuth just makes up some numbers and writes them down. His character is Snoot Rough Nibble Scab, a valiant and heroic weasel rogue barbarian. He's incredibly powerful and brave. P.S. draws a cool picture of him on the back of his character sheet. A-Stick doesn't have the patience or imagination for filling out his character sheet. He draws a picture of his really cool and badass character, a hog cyborg with a big-ass gun that shoots spiders at the president, and a knife for a hat, and a motorcycle that is a bomb. Pickle Inspector begins spinning a wildly imaginative and convoluted quest. The two heroes have united with the legendary rough-hewn band of firefighter brigands to storm the empire of 1,000 witches, led by the merciless bathing king of greed. He bellows there will be a fistful of oily, dirty cash of the first shrew that fells these hooligans for his water drains. Problem Sleuth falls asleep. A-Stick starts chatting up one of the dames. Okay then. See more commands. Ogle Amanda disconcertingly. Who the hell's Amanda? For Isaac. Amanda. Who is Amanda? Anyway, Problem Sleuth ride Death's scythe like a mechanical bull whilst Death plays a stirring rendition of Devil Went Down to Georgia on his fiddle. For Ian. Mechanical Bull Scythe! Look at Death go. Look at him go! Fiesta A-Stick, Gambit Schema, Hot Tamale, Chupacabra. Oh jeez. For Chaos. It would be for someone named Chaos, because holy crap. Future Pickle Inspector, teleport to the theater with a future copy of Die Hard for Fiesta A-Stick and MK to chill out and see the movie. Starting from this point in Problem Sleuth. You conjure a tuba and prepare to blow a soulful, brooding melody through the substantial horn's brassy girth. You decide to forget about that silly old tuba and go watch a movie with your friends instead. They're delighted by your choice of film. You sit down and enjoy it with them. Fiesta A-Stick becomes somewhat disgruntled by your tallness attribute. MK's obviously too big for any of those chairs, but he's engrossed... too engrossed in the film to mind. John McClane throws Hans Gruber off the Nakatomi building. MK and Fiesta A-Stick high-five each other at the villain's comeuppance. Future Pickle Inspector wonders why Bruce Willis just killed Professor Snape. He finds the development highly disconcerting. Future Pickle Inspector turn the brothel to a lovely casino before you go. For Dave, starting at this point. You transform the brothel to a swell joint where fellas get togged to the bricks and the dames get carried away with the giggle juice and let loose on the tabletops. You saunter through the establishment to make sure it's running smoothly, slipping a wink and a nod now and then to your regulars. Just a minute. The jawbreaker on the roulette wheel appears to be rigged. One of these mugs is trying to fleece you. So, Godhead Pickle Inspector, fondly regard donation. For Captain Awesome. You admire the striking grandeur of the crisp currency. Your third eye becomes embroiled in a fearsome ogling match with the pyramid on the back of the bill. I didn't even realize that was supposed to be an eye. But it's certainly in a staring match with the Illuminati now. Problem Sleuth summon and incidentally hire the Midnight Crew. Alright, cool. The Midnight Crew to show this ragamuffin piker who really holds the cards. For Mayanaka, Mayanaka? Mayonnaise. Starting from this point in Problem Sleuth. You're through letting the ornery mob boss have his way with you. Time to bring out the heavy firepower. The dangerous band of mobsters threaten you with their sinister shadow-based magic. One of them tries to intimidate you with the Ace of Spades, but you retaliate with your own hand of deadly and highly intimidating cards. Macho, Hunk, Rump, Hard Body, and Hunk, Hunk, Hunk. Wait, these are not the intimidating cards you had hoped to show them. So yeah, I guess that is how the Midnight Crew happens. So did they come from Problem Sleuth, or did someone donate from Homestuck into that? I don't know. This happened years before I even knew what this website was. MC insulted, violently joined the band working... the Midnight Crew joined the battle, working for DMK instead, for Mayanaka. Oh no, that guy did not just show you his collection of gay pornography. That did not just happen. Slighted by the man's vulgar conduct, the band of rogues heads down below deck to join forces with Mobster Kingpin. They call for him to come out of his fort. The leader of your group assesses MK's fitness for joining the Midnight Crew. He's just not quite cutting it somehow. You transform MK into Shadow MK. Okay then, MK and Midnight Crew and Shadow MK wage merciless donation-funded warfare against the protagonist in a non-canonical but nevertheless grand plot line. For Mayanaka. Shadow, Mobster Kingpin, and the Midnight Crew head to the deck for an old-fashioned gang-style brawl. Demon Head Mobster Kingpin gets out of the way because it looks like shit's about to go down pretty hard and heavy. Spade Slick wreaks havoc on Problem Sleuth with his cast-iron horse hitcher. Club Deuce employs his crook of felony to bludgeon a stick in the snout to establish similarity. Diamond Droog viciously wields his ultra-violence Q-stick against Zombie A-Stick. Pickle Inspector tiptoes away because he finds all the commotion quite upsetting. Heart's boxcar wonders just where the devil he thinks he's going. Heart's boxcar deals PI a savage whipping with his TV antenna. TV antenna, okay then. Sunglass-free Stiller bus emerged from the tear in space-time, floating slowly and eerily towards the viewer. For Simon. Yeah. Game over. Jeez. It's just Ben Stiller, holy crap. So, Problem Sleuth, A-Stick, Pickle Spectre, Zombie A-Stick, Fiesta A-Stick, 4 Adventurers, Hysterical Dame, Nervous Broad, Candy Mecha, Godhead, Pickle Inspector, Past Pickle Inspector, Future Pickle Inspector versus MK plus Loathsome Beast plus, Madam whatever the hell her name was, Demon Head Mobster Kingpin, Monster Pickle Inspector, Flew Through Loose, Surly Thugs, Frightening Beast, Morthal Dryax, and Bowen Stilson Dog. Face off! Epic face off! Are they on top of the hat, too? Where is this battle supposed to be happening? Also, that bust, though. For Craner from Dryer. Midnight Crew. Allow Labor or Wasp to collect Shadow Nectar from protagonists. Then Hive Ragtime, fill them with Midnight. For Mainaka. Labor or Wasps. The Wasps have completed their grim labors. The comb throbs with black liquid misery. Once you fill them with Midnight, these do-gooders will wish they never left their offices. Alright then. Everyone, pause for a 12-month calendar photo shoot because shit just got unnervingly real. You authoritatively decide that shit is so ridiculously real right now that the realness of it can be contained by no less than 12 months of team posing badassitude. Past Future Pickle Inspector mans the photo shoot like a pro. He loves what you're giving him. Keep working it. Finally, your calendar arrives in the mail. You were so excited to see how the shoot turned out. This is not the calendar which you posed for. 2009. Dang, this was 9 years ago. For Zim 2411. Strike back in the Midnight Crew using awesome dice-based technology. You've been pushed to your limit by the larcenous Midnight Crew. You have no hope of defeating these felons unless you resort to measures of desperation. You call for Past Future Pickle Inspector's help. He conjures one of his most deadly imagined weapons, the Catinative Doomsday Dice Cascader, featuring loathsome Pop-O-Matic bubble technology! It's a trouble game. It's a game of trouble from the 90s. It's fun getting in trouble. You press the prime bubble to allocate the empty Catinator crucibles with bubbles. You roll a 6, the most favorable result. The crucibles are allocated with 6 Cascader bubbles, each containing a d6. You press the first Cascader, the result is a 2. Not very good, but it's just the beginning. The other 5 Cascader dice are multiplied by this number to become 12-sided dice. The second Cascader is pressed for a resulting multiplier of 8. The remaining 4 dice now have 12 times 8 equals 96 sides each. Times 35, the third Cascader is pressed for a resulting multiplier of 35. The remaining 3 dice now have 3,360 sides each. The fourth Cascader, 9,817,920 sides each. Fifth Cascader, let's see this, 1,000, million, billion, trillion, 50 trillion, 90 billion, 870 million, 753,280 sides. The final pop. You roll the last die by pressing the final Doomsday Cascader. This will trigger the weapon on the terrible device and potentially deal up to 50 trillion hit points and damage. The Doomsday Cascader rolls a 1. Dang. The D50 trillion. Oh, it says it right there. I didn't even have to figure that out. I'm just stupid. Okay. I wonder what will that do in the next map, Midnight Crew. Begin dating sim minigame. Starting from this page for David. You are a mannerly highbrow, a well-polished aristocratic suitor. You are gentlemanly and virile, in the prime of your life. Why, it seems this coquettish young hen has piqued the glint of your dashing ogle. Those flickering lamps, that porcelain face. Your various meters palpitate with simulated excitement. Courtship is imminent. You decide to give the woman a gift. You consult your swag registry and select from it a beautiful fancy Santa. An excellent choice. She gains a few husband material pips on her brooch with the chaperone's dereliction. It is time to select a courtship action. Put Nebuchadnezzar out to grass? You browse through a list of thousands of rather obscure-sounding commands. You pause at one that sounds intriguing, although you don't have the foggiest idea what it means. You decide to test it with caution. Catastrophic courtship error. I wonder what that means. Midnight Crew, Shadowcomb Rave Midnight Gospel Act. For Abraham. Thinking the name Midnight Crew is probably an obscure reference to something, you decide to Google it and learn more. But it seems all you can find are references to some Afrobeat Christian gospel group in Nigeria. This is complete bullshit! Har's boxcar returns with armloads of colorful Nigerian robes for you to all wear during your spiritually moving attack of soulful devotion to your Lord Jesus Christ. Diamond Droog deals boxcar senseless drubbing with his ultra-violence cue stick. So I guess it probably just got to the point where someone just made the Midnight Crew be a thing and it just kept happening. Crank Probability Theory Wasp Professor's meddling level up from medium to high. For John. Probability Theory Wasp Professor. Professor Wasp takes a healthy swallow of his own medicine, boosting his meddling level. Soon he becomes quite fidgety and searches about other people's business to poke his professorally erudite nose into. He makes a number of highly improbable appearances throughout canonical story events and start messing things up. The oboe has been dislodged. Nope. But Professor Wasp quickly replaces it with 10 bassoons! Professor Wasp makes off with the riches stored in the Owen Wilson bus and then gives Ben Stiller some sweet new shades. He steals a salted melon from the weasels who all promptly start flipping the fuck out. And then he puts it on top of this thing! And he keeps doing things like this for a while, no one can stop him. Okay. Death accidentally tear a plot hole in your Tome of Wayfaring Souls. For another fan, starting from this page as well as from this Unlockables. You were about to jot down a few notes in your tome, but you notice something peculiar happening on one of the pages. Yeah. Professor Wasp pokes his distinguished nosy countenance from the page. He's looking particularly meddlesome today. You attempt to shoot the pesky insect away with your fly swatter scythe. The professor meddles feverishly with your appearance. Okay. Problem Sleuth. Combat Operandi summon Warhammer of Zilly-Hoo. That's where this came from? From Nick for Ryan, starting from this page. Truffle Shuffle. You simply cannot allow this moronic zombie to shuffle about aimlessly. For some reason you decide you must defeat this foe. The obvious course of action is to summon a magical hammer with a ridiculous name. There she is. Forged in the fire by the smiths of Pipplemop. Commissioned by the sage lord of the Wozenjay fiefdom in the realm of the snargly Fruzmig Bubbins. It is so beautiful. You're so bewitched by its beauty, you're not sure if you can wield it. You weep in each other's arms at its beauty. More things that pop up in Homestuck that I would never have known came from Problem Sleuth. Play a rousing game of Hunk Rump the Gathering. Starting from this page in Problem Sleuth. You gather to play a friendly card game. Pickle Inspector suggests you both go down the chimney and gather at the table. A stick suddenly gathers to play too. It is an excellent opportunity for friends to gather when you play Hunk Rump the Gathering. The elves catch a glimpse of a firm, plump buttock and then they begin to cry. Sweet Jesus, that buttock. You can ricochet a quarter off that buttock and kill a man where he stands. You must tap the ass card to deploy one of your mightiest beefcakes, the legendary copper-skinned bronze stud. You're having trouble bringing yourself to tap the ass card. A stick urges you to tap the ass card. You cannot do it. You cannot tap the ass. Tap it! You tap that ass this instant! He will not be tapping that ass. Not in this page. So, Honeybee Professor put an end to Probability Theory Wasp Professor's troublesome meddling once and for all. What, is he going to have a gun? For Anthony. The Honeybee Professor enlists the support of the Clown Bar to conjure a window and a highly tempting pie left to cool on the sill. The Wasp Professor understandably makes a beeline for the pie, which quickly disappears per the hoax of a mischievous clown. The Honeybee Professor summons a portal counterpart window and positions it to face the clown's window. The Wasp's frantic trajectory is sandwiched between the two windows. In pressing the windows together, the Professor and the clown make a grave miscommunication. One of the windows knots inside the other, forming a tight spiral window wreath. Wasp Professors fire in all directions! So that's the opposite of what they wanted to do. Midnight Crew, continue your battle, oblivious to the various odd changes that resulted from Professor Wasp meddling through time. Let's see. A dark menace is awakened from a century's slumber. The flesh of that melon is getting a little raw from the wicked antenna bruising. The menace eyes the melon, does not enjoy what it sees. The Weasel Wraith flips the fuck out of his black belfry. The Midnight Crew deploys his fury against Team Sleuth. Oh shit! Attempt to put an end to probability theory Wasp meddling with superior shadow-based magic. Why is Midnight Crew trying to stop him? I don't think it's going to succeed. Now the problems Team Sleuth has his hands full with the Weasel Wraith. The Midnight Crew turns its attention on an army of meddling Wasp Professors. They invoke their deadly maneuver, combat operandi shadowboxing, to counter the Professor's hijinks. The Midnight Crew summons a mysterious shadowbox. It could contain anything. The possibilities have even the Professor bamboozled. Har's Boxcar rolls some dice to establish the strength of the attack. He rolls boxcars for max damage. The thing about Har's Boxcars is he always rolls boxcars. Schrodinger's cat comes out of the box! In every state that exists between being alive and dead. Again, the probability professor is flummoxed because the cat exists in every state of probability at once! And unfortunately for the professor, every one of these cat states is unbelievably deadly. Why does the Wasp have ribcage? Oh, for death? Death commissioned that, alright. Show map of all locations seen by the player so far. A-Stick's office, Pickle Spectre's office, Problem Sleuth's office, Elf elevator, hideout, Elf room, Jazz room, up, still, up. The Speakeasy, Dumbwaiter shaft, Kingpin Tower lobby, Kingpin Tower speakeasy. Legitimate establishment, Sleazy brothel in the sky, attic, horror room, foyer pantry, level 2, 3, 4. MK's dollhouse, level 5. Pickle Spectre's office, E. Control room, pentagram room, alchemy room, lounge room, Chicago overcoat, MK's upper rooms, and below deck. Interesting. For John. Summon a squad of zombie astronauts to assist. For Kenneth. It is taking you a dog's age to traverse this blasted ship, and you could really use some help. From the grave, but also from outer space! Champions of the cosmos sprint to your aid, brave, pungent men of space, vaunted, smelly paladins of the sky. They are your saviors, and with them flanked, you are fearless. The span of this meager deck is laughable to you. Your Frankenstein slowness trifling. Onwards, musty soldiers, onward! That didn't work out very well for anyone. Pose with a little white cat because shit just got cute. Aww! Did he just put it in his hat? He just put it in his hat. Candy Mecha pilot Pickle Inspector become president. Use Candy Mecha to save America. For James. You're not sure what this America thing is or why it needs saving, but you'll be damned if you won't become its president and pilot this unstoppable war machine per some ill-conceived Metal Wolf Chaos fantasy. The hell is Metal Wolf Chaos? A third-person shooter video game developed and published by From Software. What? Released for the... Aren't they Yep. They did the Armored Core games too? What? Anyway, you tuck yourself into the snug confines of the mecha's control port. That is another fort. Say control fort, not control port. You are here for two things: to rain unspeakable devastation down on the forces of evil, and to flail your limbs about in a playful manner. And you have no room in your fort to flail about whatsoever. Something's happening. But it seems you are not in control of the mech at all. It appears to operate entirely of its own accord. The sobering reality settles in. This infernal contraption will be your grave. Jeez. Wink suggestively at player while starting a small mustache fire. For Fitz & Co. Hummingbird? The hummingbird is startled by this development. Let's see. Summon microwave tentacle monster level 150 Coddletech slippery slapping sucker stems. For Luke. You're quite sure for some reason that this microwave will summon a tentacle monster. Hey guys, bad news. What's with the microwave? It's busted. It's still under warranty, right? I'm more interested to know if death by tentacle still works under our life insurance. Okay. You contemplate how to go about releasing this terrible beast and its flailing flagellate furies upon your foes. You decide to instead make some delicious popcorn. You are lauded for your better judgment. That's not how that works. The microwave is far sharper than Problem Sleuth. FMB, who I do not remember who that is, fondly regards Sarah. Fuzzy Man Bear. For Keith and Sarah, with sincere apologies for the tardiness. What is happening? Belated Valentine's Day flip out. What the hell is this? Okay. Death, using your tome of wayfaring souls, gather the former skeletal remains of Problem Sleuth, Pickle Inspector, and A-Stick, as well as Zombie A-Stick. Shit just got so real that you form a band and go on tour, performing Thriller and other undead-related musical numbers. You and your porous accomplice gather up the bones of fallen heroes. You have big plans. You have set your sights on Broadway! You purchase a used fog machine for enhanced theatrical spookiness. Stupid thing's broken, though. It won't put out a lick of fog. Your 3 new recruits won't dance because it seems they're just a pile of dusty old bones. But that won't slow you down. You're both giving the performance your all, and you are having a lot of fun. So, they're having fun. For Bradley. Dapper Swain, ride the mechanical bull like a real bull. Old-time Guild of Distinguished Gentlemen. Be just riding that bull. What? You ride the mechanical bull out to a pasture where the two of you have a picnic. Oh, that's weird. For Anonymous. Anonymous, you're weird. Cooper, borrow Dave's sweet gear and go batshit crazy on some mice and other woodland creatures while uttering witty one-liners. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and assume that some of these did happen when Homestuck already existed. Oh, hey, look. Homestuck and Viz Media. What? You borrow all of Dave's sweet gear, but it all ends up being useless because all you need to massacre a whole bunch of little animals is your awesome claws. You say a lot of one-liners like mouse puns and stuff, but they can't hear you because they're all doing so much dying, even their grandchildren feel it. Their grandchildren that never get born. Dead rodent tornado! And finally, Richard challenged Tavros to wheelchair jousting match. Sponsored by a fan through donation. The match is afoot. You're going so fast it's basically ridiculous. Your adversary matches your velocity. You are both busting out the strict speeds with absolutely no regard for the sick fires you are starting in their wake. Collision is imminent. Who will be victorious? This is incredibly silly! Yeah, it is. But, let's see. Paint. It should still be on the copy paste. Boom. Yeah, it is. Let's see what happens if I try to do this. Probably Shenanigans. Shenanigans? Shenanigans. Definitely Shenanigans. Everybody gets to be red. You're all angry. You're all angry Fiesta punks now. Angry Fiesta punks for everybody. Anyway, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This was episode 3 of Let's Read Minis, which was fan-requested game commands set in the Problem Sleuth universe. That's a going to be a really long title. I'll probably find some kind of way to shorten it. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.